Hotel. Welcome to Kemet University. This is our Lunch and Learn series. Oftentimes, some of you may have been too busy to make the classes, so we're taking time today to come to you. Why are we taking this time? Because oftentimes we talk about our rights. We don't know which rights we're talking about, whether they're federal rights, state rights, local rights. We just scream out, we need to know our rights. The thing of it is, we need to become more civilly engaged. And notice I said civilly and not civically. And there's a difference in that, and we'll go over that later. But what we do at Kemet University is about bringing about our culture, education by way of audio, video, and lectures. And our motto is knowledge is for those who seek it. The term ab assuetis non fit injuria. Ab means from the beginning. This is a prefix. But it means like ab assuetis, from the beginning, or from when a situation has been going on for a long time. Non fit injuria. And one is accustomed to it, and there's been no legal injury or wrong that has arisen from it. And when we say that there has been a long acquiescence means to remain silent. If you acquiesce something, that means you have remained silent when it comes to it. If you acquiesce your rights, that means you have been silent to asserting your rights. And it says, if a person neglects to insist on his right, he is deemed to have abandoned it. And that's coming from a Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. And for those of you all who have never seen a Black's Law Dictionary, here's a Black's Law Dictionary. Here's a 4th edition. You see it says revised 4th edition. I would encourage you all to go down to your thrift stores or your Goodwills sometimes, or Ed McKay's. They will have some, and it's important to study it when you're talking about understanding your rights. Now, notice the two words that are highlighted here, deemed and abandoned, when it comes to asserting your rights. It says if a person neglects to insist on his right, and he is deemed to have abandoned it. Meaning if things have been going wrong and for a long time, and you know there's been a wrong, and there's been no legal injury or wrong arisen from it, that means you have abandoned. You have been deemed to have abandoned your rights. Why? Because you did not assert them. Let's look at the definition of deemed. If one is deemed to have abandoned his right, as we can see here, deem means to hold, to consider, to adjudge, condemn, determine, treat as if true. Abandon means to desert, to surrender, to forsake, or cede. So, when we go back to the definition as we will see it, if one is not asserting his rights, he has none, because you have been deemed to have abandoned it. You have been deemed to have given it up on many different levels, whether we're talking about the federal level, whether we're talking about the state level, or whether we're talking about the local level. Now, when we're talking about the federal level, one should focus on the U.S. Constitution. When we're talking about the state level, we're talking about the North Carolina Constitution. Here's an example of the North Carolina Constitution, where it says here, the North Carolina State Constitution. We, the people of the state of North Carolina, grateful to Almighty God, the sovereign ruler of nations, for the preservation of the American Union and the existence of our civil, political, no, they didn't say civic, it said civil, political, and religious liberties, and acknowledging our dependence upon him for the continuance of those blessings to us and our posterity, due for more than certain security thereof, and for the better government of this state, ordained and established this Constitution. So again, asserting your rights. And then when we're talking about on the local level, we're talking about the city ordinances. And understanding our rights. This is an example of city ordinances, one of the ones that were amended in 2018. This is the ordinance amending chapter 10, division 1 of the city code. So we must know our rights on different levels, because when we do not assert our rights, then we have no rights. If we do not assert our rights, then we have been deemed to have abandoned them. I'd like to thank you for your time. Tune in with us tomorrow, and as we always say here at Kemet University, knowledge is for those who seek it. Ab esuitis non fit injuria. If after a long time that you have given up your rights through being silent, know that you have no rights because you have been deemed to have abandoned them. That means you have been, they're treated as true that you have already forsaken it, forsook it. Hotep.